Welcome back to another episode of Midwest Whitetail the Heartland. This week we have another good show for you guys. We're actually going to start out down on a hunt that we had this past week. Cooper, Carson, Dragos, and myself got out for youth season, and Cooper encountered a doe that he was able to harvest, but there's a little bit of a story to go with it, so I hope you guys enjoy that one. Just a good teaching moment all around for all of us. We're also going to get a couple updates from Justin Kamps, Mark Robinson, Clayton Wehmhoefer, and Darin Holman, and then we're going to round out the show with Kane Gillette. He's got a cool unboxing of a Coffman bike that he just got in the mail. So we're going to get to all the action right now.
Welcome back to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland show. It is the afternoon of September 25th. As you can see, we got the boys out here and Dragos behind the camera. We're on another youth hunt back down here on the main river bottom farm. This is the same farm that we put those beans in, and the turnips and radishes. And then we've also got a bunch of rye out here. It's looking great. Cooper he's got 2 tags left, and Carson's got a buck tag, so we'll see what happens, but it should be a fun night. Deer should start moving anytime, really. We're kind of far back in here, close to some bedding, so it is warm though. It's about 80 degrees. Temp's supposed to drop, but the wind has died off completely, so not sure how that's gonna treat us for tonight. I like a little more wind than this, but we'll see. Either way, it should be fun, and you guys ready?
Yeah.
Come stand up, buddy. It's weird because she's not acting like EHD, like. Don't shoot yet, but put it right behind your shoulder, okay? Like, see where that little V is? You good, Dragos? Yep. Okay, just put it on and deep breath and slowly pull it. Keep looking through.
Wait. Ready? Ready? Anyone
Hang on. Just go down. Good shot, buddy.
Yeah, let's go, Cooper.
Good shot.
Let's go.
Good job.
Let's go. No, I'm up to bat if one go.
Good job, buddy. Nice shot.
Well guys, as you can see, Cooper just put a great shot on that doe. That is actually a deer that I've been getting a lot of pictures of here on this food plot. She's here a lot, and as you could tell by that footage, she looked very sick. Not exactly sure what's wrong with her, but she's nothing but skin and bones, and I believe she was actually bedded right next to the plot when she came out, and she's just super sluggish and slow, and we were contemplating on whether or not to shoot her or not, but we decided it would be a great teaching opportunity for Cooper and the boys and Carson. You know, when we see a wounded animal out in the wild, we can go ahead and put a tag on them, even though, you know, they're not doing good, they're sick. It's probably in their best interest to put them down. And we're gonna go ahead and climb down and go check her out and maybe get a closer look at her. Hopefully it's not an EHD deer, but I'm not 100% sure, so let's go check her out. It's a big old doe. She's just super sick. Well, let's get her tagged up.
Oh my god.
Well guys, here she is. As you can tell, she's nothing but skin and bones. This was a really good learning experience for the boys. We were really contemplating on whether or not to shoot her, but I'm really glad we did because this is a great learning experience and we don't want deer out here suffering like this. I'm really not sure what's wrong with her, but it's been fun so far and we got season coming right up, so I don't know. Thanks, buddy. So thank you guys for watching the Heartland Show.
Good evening and welcome to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland. We're here at the end of September, September 23. The season's right around the corner. And man, Mitchell and I are excited for another year of whitetail hunting and doing what we love. So I wanted to bring a few of the deer that I hope to get after this year. I have 3 deer. The first one is a deer that we call Frankenstein, or Frankie for short. This is a deer that we have 5 years of history with. He's a really unique deer. When he was 3 and 4 years old, he had just a wall of tines that were short and kind of looked like shark teeth. And I think at one point he was a 9x9. I think that was his biggest rack. And so that was one we really were trying to watch and thought that he would really turn into something special. But his rack really hasn't done what we thought it would. It's if anything, it's regressed a little bit, and he tends to be a fighter and breaks a lot of his tines fairly early. But he's an 8-year-old deer with 5 years of history, so that in itself makes him extra special. So Frankenstein is definitely a deer that's on the list. Mitchell and I had a really good encounter with him. I think when he was 4, we had him down in front of us a couple times, passed him then. We've seen him almost every year at least once. I don't think we have any other footage of him filming wise, but we have seen him running around and we get lots of trail cam pictures of him. So he's definitely going to be high up on the list for us this year. Another deer that we have is a deer that I call Reaper. So Reaper is a big mainframe 10. We've known about him for 3 years. I think he's 6 this year. Just a really pretty mainframe 10, and the last 2 years he's had a split brow tine. So this is a deer that summers and early fall on the neighbor, and then come end of October, then he at least cruises through some of our property and usually stays throughout the year through late season. So it's a deer that we have a good chance to get on him in the rut or late season. And with that in mind, on this, it's just a 30-acre parcel, but we planted maybe an acre food plot with some of the monster buck radish and brassica blend, hoping to get him maybe a little bit earlier. So typically he comes end of October, but was hoping maybe with that food plot close by, he'd show up in October. So we planted that in end of July or early August, and that has come up really nice. So excited to put trail cams there and see if he shows up any earlier, but really pretty deer that hopefully we can get on at some point. And then the last deer is a deer that I call Pax. So Pax is a mainframe 9-point. I filmed Pax last year, early August in Velvet. Had a really special evening, and he came out. At that time he was a mainframe 10, and he came out with just a gigantic deer. A deer that is the only time we saw. That deer didn't stick around. I'm pretty sure we knew who he was, but we haven't seen him at all after that point. This year, he's definitely one of the bigger body deer we have on our main farm. And I ended up filming him again in end of July. He was in a bachelor group of 10 or 11 deer. Some really nice other deer that he was with, but definitely he was the most mature, had the biggest body. So I filmed him 2 different nights, and he's just a big 9-point, pretty deer, and definitely mature. So those are the 3 bucks that I'm going to bring now. Mitchell and I are super excited for another year at Midwest Whitetail, and hopefully we'll show you a few bucks. So appreciate you following along, and looking forward to the rest of the team and what we can do in this 23 season.
Well, welcome back to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland. We've got a ton of work done this year at the farm. We got a few new blinds to put up, and we still have 2 to get out on trailers. We have 1 permanent one out in the food plot, but 2 on trailers we still need to get out and hopefully do that this weekend. As we're running the Cuddy Link system, we had 1 buck from last year that we named Tuxedo. Pretty excited about that one. He made, didn't really make a huge jump, but he threw a huge extra drop tine on, about 8 inches or so it looks like. So it's pretty cool, see that. And then we have yet to see the Gypsy 10 that I was lucky enough to find the one side to this year, this spring. And then usually he shows up later in the year, so it's not even a surprise. And then Uncle Mike's, we don't really have any names for anything yet because there's all seems to be new bucks this year. We don't really recognize any of them. So there's, I believe, 1 shooter for sure, if not 2, just kind of judging by the pictures we've gotten so far. Real respectable deer. Jeff and I are gonna be pretty limited for early season between work and kiddos. Jeffrey has 2 now and I have 3, so that's gonna take up a lot of our time, but hopefully when it comes rut time, we can get our butts in the seat and stick it out all day long and chase Tuxedo down. That's my main target deer. Hopefully we can make it happen with him. And then, like I said, the food plots are all turning out great. We got the rain when we needed to, and I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting year with the beans for the first time at Reds and some new stuff that we've been trying at Reds here. So, and then our Uncle Mike's is just hanging stands, and that's all done and ready. Like I said, we're looking forward to the 2023 season. So hopefully you can stay with the Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland show, and keep updated as we go along, and hopefully everybody has a good luck this year. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to another episode of Midwest Whitetail's Heartland Show. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, and I came out here to my farm to work on a couple last-minute preparation items before the season opens up in just over a week. Both Justin and I are excited to be back for another season. This will be our 10th year of contributing content to Midwest Whitetail, and we're hopefully looking forward to a successful season. We were able to get our food plots planted this spring, and overall those are doing pretty well. Actually came out here tonight to check on one of the plots that I had overseeded some monster bucks seed into some heavily browsed soybeans, and overall it looks like that monster buck is brassica mix is coming up pretty well. And although we haven't gotten any of our target bucks on camera yet this year, there were a few bucks that we had encounters with in 2022 that we're hoping will show back up here as we get into October and transition towards the rut. We haven't done a good job naming these bucks, but 2 of them we had encounters with here on my farm. The first one was on November 7th. He came cruising through by himself. And then the second one was on November 12th. He was pushing some does through the timber. We weren't able to get very good footage of him, but we did get a couple pictures of him throughout the year. The third buck I'll mention is probably the buck that we're most excited about seeing again this year. It's a buck we had an encounter with on November 13th last year. He was locked down with a group of does, and we essentially sat in our set the entire day and watched him for most of that day pop in and out of the timber as the does would come into the field and feed throughout the day. And then the fourth buck I'll mention is one we think we had an encounter with on November 10th last year when we had very low camera light. And then again on December 26th when we were hunting one of our food plots out of a redneck blind. He came out into the food plot with about 20 other deer and unfortunately was the only one that didn't come within shooting distance that evening. So again, that's just a quick recap of some of the bucks we had encounters with last year that we're hoping to see return here for the 2023 season. We definitely appreciate everybody who supports Midwest Whitetail and the Heartland Show. and we look forward to bringing you some exciting content throughout the season.
Well, these trails are looking pretty nice coming into this alfalfa field here in Michigan. So the plans are for the season, October 1 is our opener. I'm going to bring my special needs nephew out to Eaton Rapids. We've got a tradition, we keep that going. He was successful last year, so hopefully we can keep that going. Food plots are in, rednecks sitting there, and a tree stand. Once we get to the end of October, we're amping up to go to our rut hunt. We'll be on like a 15-day trip. It's going to be a brand new place in Kansas for us. We've never stepped foot there. It's all public land. We got a nice group of guys going. Hopefully we can get that figured out and get some good encounters out there. And I notice a lot of people follow along with the public land guys, and hopefully this is, we can get some input and some helpful tips of what we like to do to find the deer as soon as possible and to get on some big ones. So then we get back to my Iowa farm. That's where the majority of the work has been done since the last few years actually, and it's progressed into finding way more sheds, a lot more better deer encounters, and I can show you some of the late season encounters we had during late season on some of our food plots out of the rednecks. We ended up finding the majority of those sheds, so I know those deer are established a little more tight onto my property because of, we've done some TSI work, we've done some burns, we've done some, obviously some food plot work and all that fun stuff. So we'll be hunting there the second week in December for gun season. And we'll also be hunting there. My sister will be hunting there for late muzzleloader. So hopefully we have some really good hunts late season. It's a long ways out. We're not burning through the beginning of the season by no means. We enjoy every aspect of the hunting throughout the whole season. So just want to say good luck to everybody that's getting started out there, and yeah, hunt safe and have a lot of fun and hopefully be successful this season. Thanks for joining us here on the Heartland show, and have a great 2023 season.
What's up, guys? Tonight I am out here watching the Alabama-Texas game, and I thought while I was sitting around I would put together the new Coffman Ridgeline bike that I've got. Just figured I'd do kind of an unboxing with you guys and just kind of take you along the process of putting a Coffman together in case you guys haven't been able to do that before. So it's supposed to be a pretty easy process, so we'll find out together. I bet actual time there, that was probably 15 minutes from getting the box open to wheel is on, handlebars are on. The bike will run right now, which is pretty awesome. So this is, you guys just saw it out of the box. There was nothing beforehand there, but see, I'll hold it on here. We're ready to rock. That's a pretty honest within 15 minutes out of the box. Ready to go on the Coffman Ridgeline. So I've got the front fender to mount that it came with that I'm gonna do right now, and I'll show you guys that. Really happy with this so far. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for me on the Ridgeline. All in all, I don't know, we're probably at 40 minutes there, but that's not a bad process at all. I mean, that was it. That is exactly how they're gonna ship it to you. We're going to wrap up the zip ties here and we'll call it a night on the Coffman. Season is coming, really looking forward to it. This is gonna be an exciting year, and stuff like this just makes it that much more exciting. So thanks for checking in with me tonight, and we'll check you on the next task.
Well guys, hope you enjoyed this week's episode. October 1st is right around the corner. Iowa opens up this Sunday along with Illinois and a lot of other states in the Midwest. So We're gonna have a lot of action coming down the pipeline, but for this week, that'll be it. And thank you guys for watching Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show.